of the timeless apples. So today we're going to be making some baked apple chips. All you're going to need for this is an apple, some nutmeg, and some cinnamon. Take your apple and cut it into thin, tiny baby slices. Once you get to the core, you can either just cut it out with a knife or an apple core, or if you happen to have a teeny tiny cookie cutter, you can cut out little shapes in the middle and it looks kind of pretty. Next, light a baking sheet with some parchment paper and then lay all your teeny tiny apple slices on it. Sprinkle a hearty amount of cinnamon and a healthy dose of nutmeg on all your apples. Then just go ahead and bake these at 225 degrees in your oven for about 3 hours. After 3 hours, take those puppies out and you have some delicious, sweet, and crunchy apple chips. Next, we have some roasted honey cinnamon chickpeas. All you're going to need are some garbanzo beans, olive oil, salt, cinnamon, and some honey. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and then just open those chickpeas up. Rinse them, and then drain them. I'm going to lay them out on a towel, just to absorb all the moisture we can for the pre-roasting. And again, light a pan with some parchment paper, and just go ahead and pop those chickpeas on there. Leave them in your oven for about 35 to 45 minutes. Or until they're all nice and roasted and crunchy. Then while they're still hot, cover them with honey. I used about a tablespoon, and mix it up. You can either sprinkle some cinnamon on them in the same pot, or if you would like to caramelize them, which is what I did, you can put them back on the same pan, sprinkle them with cinnamon, and roast them for about 10 to 15 more minutes. And voila! And now you have a healthy, crunchy, protein-filled snack. Once fall rolls around, I tend to have a lot of frozen fruit from summer in my freezer. What you can do with that is take that fruit, cover it in yogurt, and you'll have a delicious fruit and yogurt bite. To do so, all you're going to need is some yogurt and some fruit. Now, for the last time today, take a plate and cover it with some parchment paper. Just wash your hands and then dunk the fruit in the yogurt. Stick it back on the plate, and just stick it in the freezer for at least an hour. Once that hour is up, you'll have delicious frozen fruit and yogurt bites. And last but not least, this is probably my favorite one, the pumpkin spice protein balls. Your main staple is going to be a cup of oats. Then you're going to need a binder. I use a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of honey. But there's lots of other ways you could use for a binder. You could use things like Nutella, almond butter, or peanut butter, but I went with butter and honey because I felt like that would go best with the pumpkin spice. Next, you're going to need some flavoring. So I use a tablespoon of vanilla and just a little bit less of half a tablespoon of pumpkin spice seasoning. The more you use, the more pumpkin-y it's going to taste. Now you're just going to want to throw in some extra flavors. I use dates and pecans, but you can put whatever you want in here, like chocolate chips or cranberries, whatever your little heart desires. And lastly, I threw in some flaxseed for some general health purposes. So go ahead and throw all that stuff in a blender and blend away. Once you're done, you're going to have this mushy brown consistency. Ooh, plopping that on a plate. And lastly, with your clean hands, form your mushy brown consistency into little balls. Oh, how adorable. And you're done. Now you have some easy-to-eat, protein-packed, pumpkin spice delicious snacks. And that's everything. I hope you have fun making these, and thank you for watching.